Radhe Radhe Dandavat Pranam Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Before I will continue with the Prema Bhakti Chandrika, verse 49, and the following ones, which are very, very specifically explain the Sakis of Radhika, I would like to make an intervention with about this topic, about Manjaris, and about the girlfriends of Radhika, the Sakis also, because I think it's very important to first understand this concept. I decided to read from my Param Gurudev, Srila Kunja Bihari Das Babaji's wonderful book, Manjari Swarup Nirupana, where these 5 divisions of girlfriends of Radhika are described, and by the mercy of Sriman Mahaprabhu, we have the incredible luck, which was this incredible luck to receive a gift which was never given before, to become one member of this very intimate group of girlfriends. So I will try to share this from this wonderful book, from this chapter where it is described, where the Manjaris and the Sakis are described. So the Param Gurudev writes there are 5 divisions of Saki Bhav. He's going on to say that the division of Saki Bhav has been further divided into 5 into Ujjvala Nilamani from Srila Rupa Goswami, which is very elaborately describing these types. There it is said that Radharani, the Queen of Vrindavan, has 5 kinds of Sakis, known respectively as Saki, friends, Priya Saki, dear friends, Paramapreshta Saki, dear most friends, Prana Saki, life companions, and 5 Nitya Saki, constant companions. Asya Vrindavaneshwarya Sakya Panchavidha Mata Sakyascha Nitya Sakyascha Prana Sakyascha Kaschana Priya Sakyascha Paramapreshta Sakyascha Vishuta. So these 5 types are mentioned in the Ujjvala Linamani. In this classification, Sakis are those inclined primarily toward Krishna. They include Dhanishta and Vindhya. Priya Sakis and Paramapreshta Sakis are equal in their affections to both Radha and Krishna. Kurangakshi and Sumadhyama belong to the former grouping, while Radha's closest companions, Lalita, Vishaka, Champaka, Lata, Suchita, Induleka, Tungavidya, Rangadevi, and Sudevi belong to the latter. So the first belong to the Priya Sakis and the latter belong to the Paramapreshta Sakis, and both are equal in love and in affection for Radha and Krishna. So their title of Paramapreshta Saki would indicate that they are the dearest of all to Radha. The last categories, the Prana Sakis and the Nitya Sakis, which include the Manjaris, are Radha Snehadika, meaning they have stronger feelings of love for Radha than for Krishna. Kasturi and Mani Manjari's names are specifically mentioned in the Ujjvala Linamani as Nitya Sakis, while Sashimukhi, Vashanti, and Lasika are the names of some Prana Sakis. So here we have 5 groups of girlfriends of Radharani. 1 group is more devoted to Krishna, 2 are equal in love to both Radha and Krishna, and 2, the Prana Sakis and the Nitya Sakis, are more affectionate towards Radhika. So then my Param Gurudev goes on to describe the various snehas, these various affectionate moods. He says Krishna Snehadika, and there he quotes a wonderful this Krishna Snehadika. He quotes from Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary to Ujjvala Linamani that for Raganuga Sadhaka it is not advised to follow those who have more love for Krishna. He is saying, according to the principles of Raganuga Bhakti, a person should follow a desired gopi while having affection for her, which is not less than one's affection for Krishna. If one follows a gopi while having less affection for her than for Krishna, it would not be much different from Vaidhi Bhakti. Even Vaidhi Bhakti cannot be perfected without following devotees. Therefore, in Raganuga Bhakti, persons who desire to follow a Saki with more affection for Krishna must not have less affection for that Saki than for Krishna. However, that person would also have to have slightly less affection for Radha and other group leaders than for Krishna. But it is very improper to consider the group leaders to be inferior to the Saki. Therefore, one does not follow such a Saki, and therefore there is only one variety of those who have more affection for Krishna. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is advising us in that matter. So Krishna's Snehadika is not advised for us because of what he is saying now, because then our love would be diminished. It would not be the same, or it would be less. It would be less. So Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is not advising this Sneha, this Krishna Snehadika. Then come Sam Sneha. Sam Sneha are the Priya Sakis and the Paramaprishta Sakis, who have the same love for both Radhika and Krishna equally. And he's writing, Priya Sakis have exactly the same measure of love for Krishna as they do for their dear friend the Yuteshwari. That love is simultaneously inexplicably great and yet always clearly impressed. Their numbers are greater than the other types of girlfriends. Rupa Goswami gives the following example of the actions of a Saki of this type in Ujjvala Ninamani. One day when Srimati Radharani and Krishna were separated as a result of some misdeed of his, Shyam's friend Bakula Mali came and revealed her mind to Champakalata. Dear friend, when Radhika is separated from Krishna, then to see her gives me pain in the heart. And when I see Krishna without Radha, I truly feel great suffering. What misery! O beautiful one, I pray therefore that I shall never take any birth in which I shall not be able to drink with my eyes the beauty of Radha and Krishna's moon-like faces, creating a joyful festival together. My good Param Gurudev goes on. The Paramaprishta Sakis like Lalita and Vishaka are also Samsneha, like the Priya Sakis, with the distinction that, although they love both Radha and Krishna equally, they definitely feel themselves to be Radhas. Very beautiful. These 8 Sakis, Lalita, Vishaka, Sudevi, Rangadevi, Champakalata, Chitra, Tungadevi, and Induleka, have reached such heights of love for both members of the divine couple that they sometimes appear to feel more affection for either the one or the other. But this distinction is slight and manifests only briefly. For example, when Radhika is in one of her sulking moods, then their sympathies might sway toward Krishna, the spurned and forlorn lover. On the other hand, when Krishna breaks his promise or fails to appear for an assignation, they will surely take Radhika's side. So now I want to come to the next point. This is what the Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharyas advised us, and every one of them is one of those 2 groups coming now. Actually, only one, we will see. Radha Snehadika. The Prana Sakis and the Nitya Sakis are more affectionate toward Radha. Of these 2 groups of Sakis, the first category is more prominent. In his Ujjvala Nilamani Kirana, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Part states that the Prana Sakis are the chief amongst the Nitya Sakis, who include all those who are Radha Snehadika. Ya Radhikayam Snehadika sa Nitya Saka tatra mukhya ya sa Prana Saki ukta. So again, of these 2, the first category, the Prana Sakis, are more prominent. In his commentary to Ujjvala Nilamani, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur makes the following further distinction between these 2 types of manjaris. Those devotees who are to be followed for the attainment of spiritual perfection should be Nityasita or eternally perfected souls. Those who are Labdasita, having become perfected either through grace or long practice, are seen in a slightly lesser light. This difference has existed since time immemorial and is here expressed in this verse by making a division between the Prana Sakis and the Nitya Sakis, the latter being followers of the former. So the Nitya Sakis are the ones who follow the Prana Sakis. So they are the ones who have become perfected either through grace or long practice. So that means us. That means actually the sadhakas. So the example given of these sakis is found in Ujjvala Lilamani. One day an outspoken girlfriend of Radha's who belongs to the Prana Saki category tried to stop Radha from going to a prearranged tryst with Krishna. She said to Brinda Devi, the go-between, "Brinde, stop making all these clever arrangements for a liaison. Just go and tell the son of the cowherd king that it is the rainy season. There are so many poisonous snakes slithering about in the dark forest. How can he expect this timid girl, Radha, to find her way to the mountain cave? Tell him that he should take the trouble to come here in secret himself." So, and then my Param Gurudev goes on to make a very nice point. He points out actually the specialty of the Radha Snehadika Sakis amongst all of the 5 groups, which is very, very beautiful. In the Ananda Chandrika commentary on Ujjvala Lilamani 215, Vishwanath Chakravartipad writes that although all Sakis find their own happiness by arranging for the pleasure of the Nayika in amorous pastimes with her lord, still a general division can be made of 2 categories from amongst them. They are those whose bodies are extremely attractive to Krishna due to their having salient qualities of love, beauty and coquettishness, etc., and 2 others who are somewhat inferior in these respects and so are not so attractive to the Lord's romantic aspirations. So this means one category is very much attracted to enjoy amorous pastimes with the Lord, and one category is slightly less or not attracted for being together in amorous pastimes with Krishna. Thus, girls of the former category may occasionally, at the behest of their friend and mistress, Radhika, Yudheshwari, desire for erotic dalliance with Krishna for his pleasure. These sakis include Lalita and the other Parama Prashta sakis. The second categories of sakis, however, never attain such aspirations. They are Kasturi and the other Nitya sakis. So one group is sometimes having erotic pastimes with Krishna, amorous pastimes with Krishna, but the other group, the Manjaris, they never desire to have this amorous pastimes together with Krishna. For an example, we can look to the Vrindavan Mahimamrita by Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati. One day, this is 1694. Ananya Shirada Padakamala Dasyaikara Sadhi Hare Sangerangam Swapana Samayana Pitadati Balat Krishne Kurpaksha Bidi Kimapi Acharati Kapi Utashur Meveti Pralapati Mamatma Cha Hasati. One day, one of Srimati Radhika's handmaidens, Manjaris, whose exclusive desire is to relish the flavor of serving her lotus feet, and who never thinks for a moment, not even in her dreams, that she would have any kind of amorous pastimes with Krishna, was accosted by him who shocked her by tearing away at her blouse and trying to be together with her. She started crying, "No, what are you doing?" While Srimati Radharani, my very life and soul, stood by and laughed. So we can see that the Manjaris, they never have the desire to directly be together with Krishna. The Nitya Sakis have a certain reward for their unique spirit of abnegation, something which is withheld even from Radharani's dearest comrades like Lalita and Vishaka. That reward is described for us by Raghunath Das Goswami in Braja Vilasastava. So this experience of those who reject and want to only be in the mood of serving Radha, that Radha and Krishna are together, never want to be alone with Krishna, but always desire for the amorous pastimes of both together, those have a much more bigger experience and much more wonderful Tat-atmika, this togetherness with Radhika. Listen closely. This is a very, very important verse of the Braja Vilasa Stava. It's the verse 38. Tambularpana pada mardana payodana bishir sharadipir. Brindaranya maheshwarim priyataya yastojayanti priya. Prana preshta saki kularapi kila sankochita bhumika. Kelibhumishu rupa manjari mukhastha dasika sangsraye. I take shelter of the maidservants of the Queen of Vrindavan, who are led by Sri Rupa Manjari, and who lovingly satisfy her by offering hazelnuts and other condiments, betelnuts and other condiments, massaging her feet, bringing fragrant water, and arranging trust with her gallant lover, and have thus become most dear to her. They are thus allowed to enter the scene of the divine couple's most intimate affairs without the slightest discomfiture, a reward not given to her dearest friends. So only those Manjaris who are in the latter category, Nityasakis, they can enter the most intimate pastimes of Radha and Krishna and serve them there, whereas Lalita and Vishaka, they can never enter this in this moment. So this is a very, very special reward. And Raghunathas Goswami, our Prayochanacharya, who is our lead, Rupa Raghunatha Pade, we follow Rupa Manjari and Rati Manjari. He is saying that they are thus allowed to enter the scene. This is the reward for those Manjaris who are Radha Snehadika, who are more affection toward Radhika than to Krishna, and for them she is never shy. Radhika is not feeling any discomfiture. She's feeling very comfortable because they are her kinkaris, their most beloved kinkaris. This is the area where the Manjaris are unique and distinctive, says my Param Gurudev. This is what Mahaprabhu came to give us. This wonderful, wonderful speciality, which was never given before. Rangana Mala and her friends, though they are themselves loving friends, either on their own initiative or at the behest of Vishaka and her friends, sometimes behave towards the ever-youthful couple of Braja just as if they were Manjaris, behaving shyly. They do this in order to obtain the highest ecstasy by listening to their extremely funny conversation, as well as to gain their most cherished service. This is from Mukta Charita. This is also wonderful. Some try to imitate Manjaris to have this entrance. Similarly, in the Krishna Bhavanamrita, it is said, Rupa Manjari and the other maidservants of Radhika, one sparkle, of whose 2 nails is brighter than a flash of lightning, are certainly qualified in all respects, whether in talents or in coquettishness, to become Yuteshwaris, group leaders, or Nayikas, heroines themselves, and yet they are completely devoid of any attraction for such glories. They would much rather bath constantly in the nectarian ocean of Radha's service. How wonderful. This is Tad Vidyut Yutijaya Brabhadayaka Reka Vaidakja Eva Kilamurti Pritastatapi Yuteshvaritvam Apisanyat Arochayitva Dasyam Ritaptim Anu Shnurachasramasya. What a wonderful, wonderful verse. A further special feature of the Nityasakis or Manjaris is just that as Srimati Radharani and the other Yuteshwaris, group leaders, are spontaneously and instinctively filled with an intense thirst to relish the flavor of Krishna's form, taste, fragrance, touch, and sound. So similarly, the Manjaris are spontaneously and instinctively attracted to both Radha's and Krishna's qualities. To what extent and how they are so attracted can be explained as follows. The nature of Mathura Ras is clear. The gopis want to please Krishna by offering their own bodies, their own self. Even Brahma prays to be able to drink again and again from the cup of his senses, the honey-like nectar of Krishna's lotus feet. According to the Chaitanya Charitamrita, the nectar of Krishna's lotus feet means his directly bodily contact. Angri Padma Sutta Kahe Krishna Sangananda. This was 100. Yes. So, from this we can understand that the heroines serve Krishna by directly relinquishing their bodies to him. That is their qualification for being in Madhura Rasa. They give their whole self, including the body. The Manjaris, on the other hand, are unenthusiastic about such type of service. They never contemplate such a possibilities even in their dreams. Yet the question may be asked, if there is no possibility of Madhura Rasa or romance without physical intimacy, how can the platonic spirit of the Manjaris be graced with the name of Samartharati or Kamarupa Bhakti, this amorous flavor of Bhakti? Now comes a wonderful explanation. I like this so much. In answer to this question, it should be said that the object of the Manjaris' affection is the holy couple of Sri Radha and Krishna together. Therefore, the perfection of the Manjaris' power of sight and the thirst of their eyes is to see that beautiful couple locked in embrace. The craving of their ears is to hear the holy couple's sweet murmuring conversations, and that is the fulfillment of the sense of hearing. The desire of their tongues is to relish the flavor of the condiments touched by the holy couple's lips. And in that way their sense of taste attains perfection. Similarly, the sweet fragrance that arises at the holy couple's amorous pastimes is the object craved for by the nostrils, and its experience is the fulfillment of the sense of smell. How beautiful. All senses are involved. The tactile sense finds plenitude in massaging the holy couple's feet and bodies. And this is the only object of their sense of touch. In this way, it may be said that the 4 types of Sambhoga, amorous union, mentioned by Jiva Goswami, for example, sight, conversation, touch, and the first 3 are present in the Manjari to some extent. The question is, how do they experience amorous pastimes? We get some light on this from the following passage from the Govinda Lilamrita. Just as the moon enlivens the lilies, so Krishna is the bright moon who enlivens the lily-like hearts of the residents of Vrindavan. His pleasure-giving potency is personified in Radha, who is like a creeper whose fruits are prema. Her girlfriends are like the unlimited branches, leaves and flowers which expand out from herself and thus are equal to her. For this reason, when that winding creeper of love is watered by the heavenly potion of Krishna's amorous pastimes, then the leaves and flowers find hundreds of times more pleasure than if they were themselves to be sprinkled. This seems quite normal. Here again we hear that the reward for the Manjaris is 100 times higher by being assisting and assistance to the to Radha and Krishna than if they would experience it themselves. They prefer to experience all these wonderful bhavs through the bhav of Srimati Radhika because they are so close with Radhika. Just as the all-pervading omnipotence, this is from Govinda Lilamrita 2.8.211, by the way. Just as the all-pervading omnipotent Supreme God Almighty needs his majestic spiritual potencies to become fulfilled, similarly the love of Radha and Krishna, though very elevated, self-manifest, and joyful by nature, does not find fulfillment for even a moment without the presence of her girlfriends, the Sakis and the Manjaris. What person genuinely learned in the science of sacred rapture would not therefore take shelter of them? This is from Govinda Lilamrita 10.17. Prabhudananda Saraswati also states in the Vrindavan Mahimamrita, the pleasure felt by the eyes of the Saki alone in seeing Radha, merged in an ocean of love for Krishna, makes all the Supreme Lord's festive arrangements for his own happiness seem insignificant. Another quote from the Govinda Lilamrita 1137 of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami illustrates the power of the wonderful experience of the Manjaris. If Krishna should touch Radharani, then lo and behold, her sakis start to tremble. They also sweat and their body's hair stand on end and tears well in their eyes. And if Krishna should carefully sip the spirituous liquor of Radhika's lips, it is they who become intoxicated. This is truly something wonderful. We can also remember the first verse of Vilapakusumanjali where Radhi Manjari says to Rupa Manjari, wow, how are you looking today? It seems like a parrot bit your lips. But actually it was not Krishna who bit her lips. It was because Rupa Manjari is so close to Radhika that actually she had the same manifestation on her lips like Radhika when Krishna bit Radhika. That such is the closeness. In his commentary on this verse, Srila Vrindavan Chakravartin observes that this verse contains the rhetorical embellishment Alamkara known as Asangati or non sequitur. Asangati is defined as arising when causes are described as being inflicted on one entity have their effects reproduced in a completely distinct one. Like Radhika experiences these wonderful paths, and by the closeness of the Manjaris to Radhika, they also experience this. Here the Lord is touching and kissing Radha, but the effects of trembling and intoxication are described taking place in the bodies of the Kinkaris and the Sakis. Wonderful. This is from, to check. This is, yes, from Vrindavan Chakravartin. Another verse can be quoted here from the Anika Kaumudi of Kavi Karnapur, where Krishna says, O doe-eyed beauties, when your girlfriends are absent, you may have to look at a mirror before you can say whether you are happy or sad. They reflect every mood of yours. They perform all the services of a looking glass. When tears fall from your eyes, they also cry. When you are excited, their hair stand on end, and when you laugh, they also do. And when you become depressed, they also look downhearted. In the Krishna Bhavanamrita, there's another verse which illustrates this point. Radhika's Kinkaris are unable to maintain their lives if they cannot see the pastimes of the divine couple. With great eagerness, they had gathered about the window of the forest cottage in which Radha and Krishna are having amorous pastimes, and one of them said, Friends, what an amazing and wonderful situation is this they have gotten themselves into. If the Sakis can feel intoxicated when Krishna kisses Radharani, then it is not altogether surprising if they can get an even greater pleasure by watching the intimate activities of the Lord and of Srimati Radhika than they would from their own. The reason for this is that they are not lovers in the mundane sense, but are supreme, the transcendental Lord and his celestial mistress. This is also a very, very important point. These amorous pastimes have nothing to do with the material loving pastimes. Krishna is romantic love personified. He has appeared in his form as the king of sacred rapture, Rasaraj, and thus he attracts all the minds of everyone in the universe, including his very self. Srimati Radhika is the supremely worshipful personification of Mahabhav, the ultimate achievement in the domain of prema. Verily, she is the embodiment of prema herself, for her entire body is vibrant with pure devotional love for Krishna. Not only are Radha and Krishna transcendental, but also are the Sakis and the Manjaris. In the Krishna Bhavanamrita, they are described in the following way. The Manjaris of Radhika are unexcelled in this universe, for their beauty is without bounds. The rays coming from the nails of their toes defeats the glory of the lightning bolt. Each one of them is an incarnation of Radharani's expertise in loving dalliance, and thus competent to herself become a competitor for Krishna's affection. Yet, such desires do not enter their minds for even a moment because they are completely desireless. In this way, they are eligible to eternally dive into the ambrosial sea of service towards Srimati Radhika. Without bhava or feeling, the ecstasies of sacred rapture cannot be experienced. Without feeling, the ecstasy of love cannot be appreciated. To relish Krishna's sweetness, one must become similar to him in quality, otherwise it will not be possible. So we have to mentally more and more focus on our spiritual form, to become more and more close to our spiritual form. Just as Radharani's competent affection is not separable from her identity, eternal and self-manifest, so too the Sakis and Manjaris have love for the divine couple, which is similarly uncaused, self-manifest, and directly produced from their own identities. This is beyond normal experience and thus achintya, inconceivable. Those things which are inconceivable are not accessible by mental speculation. My Gurudev always said it is not by reflecting and understanding, but by realization. The actions of the Lord are supramundane. Its ways and means are all transcendental. Thus the unfortunate hear about them, even so develop no faith in them. Sometimes the Manjaris even faint from the ecstasies they feel when they watch the intimate pastimes of the divine couple through the spaces between the forest vines. Rupa Goswami has described such an instance in the Nikunja Rahasyastava, praises of the secrets of the forest bower. O mind, remember Radha and Krishna shining in the groves of Vrindavan. Their Sakis, saturated with love, fasten their eyes on them through the branches of the forest grove, where they are expanding their work of love. In wondrous variety and overwhelmed with ecstasy, they fall to the ground in a swoon. Sometimes Radharani makes arrangements for the Manjaris to meet Krishna, to have these pastimes with him. But even this intercession on her part does not shake their indifference in such direct amorous pastimes with the Lord. Srila Rupa Goswami gives an example in the Ujjvala Lilamani, which Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti part expands as follows. One day, Srimati Radharani arranged through another of her friends for Mani Manjari to have a rendezvous with the Lord in a forest. That friend, after trying persuasively to convince the reluctant Manjari, finally returned to Srimati's side in failure. She then said to her, "Dear friend, you told me to try and I did. I went to Mani Manjari and tried to tempt her in many ways." I said, "My friend, I don't believe there is any thrill in this entire universe that can compare with the ecstasy of Krishna's embrace. You really should try it one time. Lalita and the other Sakis sometimes have trysts with him. Why shouldn't you, just this once? They can act as both friends and occasionally independently as Krishna's mistresses too. There's nothing wrong with it. Why don't you like that too? Otherwise you become so insignificant. Radhe, after hearing these arguments of mine, Mani answered me by saying, "Friend, when Radharani enjoys the pleasure of Krishna's company, then I find the happiness I feel is much greater than that which I would gain by doing anything for myself at all. Therefore, dear Radhe, I am completely convinced that her heart is entirely pure. Despite all temptations and clever tricks on my part, she showed not the slightest urge for going to meet with Krishna." Here we can see the wonderful mind and attitude of the Manjaris, who never ever desire anything out of selfish desires. It's really wonderful to see. My Param Gurudev is then giving much more examples about this selflessness, about this really one-pointed devotion to Srimati Radhika. So this is beautiful in so many ways. I just wanted to share this about Radha Snehadika, that these Manjaris are in a special place within the five girlfriends of Radharani, because they are the ones who have the most love for Radhika and can be there during this most intimate pastime. This is a very, very special gift from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that we can hear about this, that we can also try to aspire for this goal and to become a Manjari ourselves, to be together with the divine couple. This is a really wonderful gift, and we should try to appreciate it actually more and more. So this is what I wanted to say about this. It's beautiful. From all the five groups we discussed now, the Nitya Sakis and the Prana Sakis, mainly the Nitya Sakis, they are those which are very, very close to Radhika and experience her bath, the bath of Radhika in their own hearts. And this is what was never given before. Sakhi Bhav was there, but this beautiful, beautiful element to experience what Radhika experienced, the Madanakya Mahabhav, the gopis, the Manjaris can experience themselves too. For myself, I find this very wonderful, and I wanted to share this before we go on with the Prema Bhakti Chandrika, where Narottama Das Thakur is discussing this beautiful verses about the girlfriends of Radhika, and then goes on and on and on until we reach the end of the Raganuga chapter within Prema Bhakti Chandrika. At the end, I would like to state some wonderful verses about the Manjaris. Again, I would like to read this main for us, Manjari Bhav Sadhakas, Raja Vilasa Stava, verse 38 from Raghunath Das Goswami. I take shelter of Sri Radha's maidservants, headed by Rupa Manjari, who always engage in serving betel leaves, massaging the feet, serving water, and arranging for the divine couple's secret trysts. These maidservants are even more dear to the great queen of Vrindavan, Sri Radhika, than the Prana Preshta Sakhis, the girlfriends who are dearer to her than life, and she is therefore not at all shy before them. Vrindavan Mahamamrita, we had heard also 1694. The Kingaris, the Manjaris, who are exclusively devoted to the service of Sri Radha's lotus feet, which are like an ocean of nectar, do not enjoy with Sri Hari even in their dreams. When Krishna forcibly pulls at their bodices, they cry out, "No, no," while Radhika watches and laughs. Vilapakusa Manjali 16. O Goddess, I shall never pray to you for anything else but the excellent service of your lotus feet. I offer my constant obeisance to the idea of becoming your friend, like Lalita and Vijaka. But I really relish the idea of becoming your maidservant, your Manjari. Vilapakusa Manjali 92. Raghunath Das Goswami. O Devi, when will you, being shy before your girlfriends, order me through a hint to restring your dear necklace which broke during your loving pastimes with Krishna? Also, this is very significant. Radhika can give orders via the eyes to her Tatatmika Manjaris, who understand completely what the eyes are saying. This is far out. This is really telepathic in the nature. So she can give orders with her eyes, and the Manjaris immediately know what they have to do. Radha Rasa Sudanidhi 142. May my tongue become overwhelmed by relishing the nectarian flavor of Radha's holy name. May my feet walk over Vrindavan's pathways that are marked with her footprints. May my hands be engaged only in her menial service. May my heart meditate on her lotus feet, and may I develop love for the Lord of her life, Krishna, through her festival of emotions. Very interesting point. Through her festival of emotions. That means that is the Manjari's mind, the Manjari's heart. Nothing but the Radhika is the gateway to her life. Everything they do through her festival of emotions. She wants to develop love for Krishna, not on their own. Radharasa Sudanidhi 74. Let Krishna's parents and all elders of Braja stay at a distance. All glories to them. Let the circle of Krishna's friends keep some distance. Let the servants of the Lord of Braja, Krishna, stay especially far away. What to speak of others? Let them all stay away from the Kunja gate, where I stand as a loving maidservant, hearing the sash of bells of Vrishabhanu's beautiful daughter jingling as she plays loving pastimes with her lover. Radha Rasa Sudanidhi 259. I always meditate on Krishna, who wears a crown of peacock feathers. I always sing his name. I always serve his lotus feet and repeat his best of mantras, holding the desire for the supremely cherished service of Radha's lotus feet in my heart. When will that great festival of divine love arise in my heart by his grace? Again, wonderful verse. Prema Bhakti Chandrika, verse 51, which will come after 3 days. Sama sneha visham sneha nahi kori dui leha koi matra adhika sneha kana nirantara takya sangi Krishna kata lila rangi narmasaki e chapsana. equal affection for Radha and Krishna, or more affection for Krishna than for Radha, do not become attached to that. I will speak about the preference for Radha. They are always in her company, blissfully, telling her about Krishna. Beautiful. Utkalika Valari, verse 1920, Rupa Goswami. O Prince of the cowherders, I offer my obeisance unto you, and I pitifully pray to you. Please make me the object of the crown garland of young girls of Braja. O Radhika, I pitifully pray to you for this benediction. May Bandakara Krishna be more kind to me, knowing me to be yours. Radhika Raghunath Goswami Utkanda Darshakam. When will I serve Sri Radha, who is dearer to Krishna than his own life, who considers a speck of Krishna's foot dust millions of times more dear than her own life, who is supremely fortunate, whose fame shine in the three worlds, and who is the crown jewel of all Hari's beloved. So here these verses all express the mood and the feelings of the Manjaris. So tomorrow we will continue with Prema Bhakti Chandrika, verse 49, where Narottam Das Thakur is introducing us to the girlfriends of Radhikas. And remember, we have 5 of them. 1 category is more towards Krishna, 2 are equal, and 2 are more to Radhika. And as Manjari Bhav Sadhikas, we are Radha Snehadika, as Narottam Das Thakur will explain, and my Gurudev in his explanations very wonderfully so. Jai Radhe, thank you for listening. Radhe Radhe.